Before I start, I just want to say thank you to everyone who saw my Darkspawn video. When I wrote the script for that, I expected it to get 15 views, and yet at the time of writing this script, it has over 80, which is beyond what I expected. That, coupled with all the heartwarming responses and positive comments, has just blown me away, to be honest, and I just want to thank each and every one of you who watched it and left a comment. It has given me all the motivation I need going forward to continue this series, so thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy this video as well. In the Dragon Age series, there are a lot of things that will try and kill you. Here's some examples. Bandits, giants, bears, dragons, darkspawn, spiders, demons, undead spirits, werewolves, golems, mages, whatever the fuck this thing is, and trees. Just to name a few. Yet despite the vast amount of deadly things that litter Thedas, the Darkspawn still managed to be one of the most terrifying. Their corrupting nature makes them almost impossible to fight head-on. Almost. During the First Blight, when the world was on the cusp of destruction, a new order was created. The warriors who made up the ranks of this order pushed back the Darkspawn and killed the Archdemon that was commanding over them, forcing them to flee back underground. This order didn't fear being infected by the Blight, and they were able to sense where the Darkspawn were, which has made them instrumental in every following Blight. Every Archdemon that has been killed up until this point in the series was killed by a member of this order, and without them the world surely would have fallen to the Blight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my favourite faction within the Dragon Age series, the Grey Wardens. The Grey Wardens are an order of noble warriors who are often associated with the colour blue and are very often mistaken for members of the Blue Man group. I'm blue, They are the best in the world at fighting the Darkspawn, and they dedicate their lives to ending the threat of the Blight. But who are they and how do they achieve this? As mentioned before, they are an order of men and women from all walks of life. From the lowly street beggar who's handy with a blade, all the way up to a king charismatic enough to inspire his soldiers to charge to their deaths. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, everyone is welcome within the Grey Warden Order, so long as you sever ties to your old life and dedicate yourself to fighting the Darkspawn. They even have something called the Rite of Conscription, which allows them to recruit whoever they want into the Grey Warden ranks without question, though not always without consequence. A warden could be face to face with a serial killer who slaughtered dozens of innocents, and if they think they could be effective against the Darkspawn, they can conscript them and all their crimes are waived. So tell me, what did you do?
I killed people because the voice in my head demanded it.
Oh yeah, I want this guy on my side. The reason they're allowed to do this and be so effective against the Darkspawn is because they're immune to the Blight. They don't have to worry about getting infected in combat. This allows them to carve a path through the Darkspawn in time of a Blight, and it's why the world honours the Rite of Conscription. On top of that, when a Blight does threaten the land, everyone has to pitch in to help the Wardens. Dwarves, humans, elves, mages. Long ago, everyone signed a treaty that proposes when a Blight threatens the land, the Wardens are given all the resources they need. Wait, if they're immune and they can fight so effectively against the Darkspawn, why don't they just make everyone immune? I was getting to that! While being a Grey Warden sounds great, and many join them due to their noble ideologies, it's not exactly a perfect life. How the Grey Wardens are immune is a closely guarded secret, and the only way to learn is to go through a ritual known as the Joining. The ritual has a fatality rating of around 30-ish%, meaning you could die before you even become a proper Grey Warden. And in the event that you survive, your life expectancy is reduced dramatically. If you don't die fighting the Darkspawn, you'll live for, at most, another 30 years. The reason for all this is because, technically, the Grey Wardens aren't immune to the Blight. They're already infected. The ritual that I mentioned a few seconds ago involves drinking the blood of Darkspawn. This is some serious gourmet shit. The blood of the Wardens has been altered in such a way that instead of the corruption killing you in a few hours, it kills you in about 30 years or less. If a Warden somehow lives for this long, they begin to have horrible nightmares, hear the call of the Archdemon, and begin to hear the whispers of the Darkspawn. And at points, they can almost understand them. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is known as the calling, and is a sign that the corruption inside the Wardens is about to turn them into the very thing they've fought against their whole lives. When this happens, most of the time the Wardens will arm themselves with as many weapons as they can carry and head into the underground to fight off as many Darkspawn as they can before they succumb to their wounds. The Grey Wardens are also able to sense when Darkspawn are nearby. The downside to this though is that the Darkspawn can sense them as well, and are very often drawn towards Grey Wardens. On top of this, the Grey Wardens are vastly outnumbered, and in a head-to-head battle against the Darkspawn they would never win, so they very often use whatever tactics required to defeat them. This has caused the Grey Wardens to have a somewhat negative reputation in some parts of the world due to their questionable tactics, use of blood magic, and sometimes also deals with demons. Now, after joining the Grey Wardens and learning about all this, you may be tempted to run away or leave the Order. But leaving the Order is a bit complicated. The Grey Wardens find you and drag you back to your post. Your connection to the Darkspawn leads them right to you and they slaughter you and anyone around you. Or you somehow avoid detection for 30 years and the corruption inside you kills you. Either way, the Blight is your end. Back when the Wardens were at peak strength, they were a very formidable force. They were spread all across the world and had lines of communication that had them ready for battle at the first sign of Darkspawn. And this was all achieved thanks to the help of their iconic friends, the Griffins. The grey coloration on their feathers and appearance inspired the look of the Grey Warden emblem. Sadly, they went extinct long ago, and the Wardens are weaker for it.
Shoot! Shoot! Get out of here! Shoot!
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct.
I said shoot!
The Wardens are still a powerful force, but without their lines of communication, they're scattered across the world, and they're only really seen in big groups when the threat of a blight is on the horizon. Most Wardens are either training in one of their few fortresses or roaming the lands recruiting new potential Wardens. In Dragon Age Origins, you meet one such man named Duncan, and depending on your origin, he may need to invoke the rite of conscription to save you from an otherwise grisly fate. The Wardens are seen as heroes by many in Thedas, but to those who are part of its legendary order, all they see are the men and women who are prepared to make the sacrifice that no one else will. The Grey Warden Oath depicts this perfectly. There is also another oath said right before a recruit undergoes the joining ritual, and it really sets the tone for their life going forward.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten, and that one day we shall join you.
The Grey Wardens are Thedas' best answer to the Darkspawn Horde, and so long as they have breath in their bodies, they'll fight until the very end. Although some people may see them as a bad omen, there's still no one else you would rather have at your side in the time of a blight. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and before I show the bloopers for this session, I just want to bring something to your attention. A few years ago, Australia was on fire, and to balance things out, the universe decided to flood us this year. Many families have lost their homes, businesses, and loved ones. In the description, you will find some links to charities and flood appeal sites if you want to make a donation and help those in need. By the time this video is uploaded, I'll have made a donation myself, so if you are interested, please check them out. Any amount will be appreciated, and only donate if you can spare it. Thank you all so much for watching. God, I really hope I get this in one take, because I can't do it again. Well, I think that worked. In hindsight, I should have done this at the end of the recording session. That makes a fuck ton more sense. Does this come off easily? It fucking doesn't. Garbage day! You know, you never look at your roof enough, and I'm just looking at a fucking nail sticking through the floorboard, so... That's probably good, right? Spawn spiders, demons, undead, spirits, werewolves, golems, mages, whatever the fuck my hair did just then. Stay up there. I tied you up for a reason! Still managed to be the one of the most, I'm stuck in the loop of one of the most.